Two alleged gang members have been arrested and charged after a shooting at Tug's Casual Grill at Harbor Town Square. According to Memphis police, young mob members Brian Lackland, aka Stupid Duke, and Paul Nelson were the gunmen. The incident happened at Tug's in May of 2023. One victim was taken to a nearby hospital where he later died from his injuries. Lackland and Nelson are facing multiple charges, including attempted first-degree.
What's going on, y'all? This is
True. Got this shit from CBS, Al City.
I ball that shit. You see, I ain't had that whole land let it drip in nothing. Is you a trapper or is you not a trapper?
Are you a trapper?
Tell your hands out of here, man.
I'm gonna take this shit, fuck it. Smoke on a young dose blunts today. Bloody cup of potion, eh? Cheerio. Damn.
Get out there.
Yeah, my boy. What this nigga.
I know I didn't think it was over with. I know I didn't think it was over with.
Back out of place. I can't let her sit on my face. Back out of place and I'm back out of state. I already know I had thoughts on it.
Shout out. I didn't. Mine said he ain't called the police, man.
Trap ain't never played this ball with y'all. I would kill the shit 100. And my bank account hit the nigga. I've been hooked.
All right, y'all. Y'all seen the beginning. Now let's see why SICF, or let's ask Orange Man quit with his talking ass. Why did Stupid Duke name come up at your murder trial for young Dolph? And a lot of people, boy, your profit agreement was a hell of a profit agreement, right? You slick told on everybody. These folks probably ain't even know about these folks' names. Makes me wonder. Makes me think that looking around, that's probably when all of these federal raids and secret indictments started. Man. But I'm gonna let y'all check this out. This is the full breakdown of what happened to Stupid Duke and Young Mob. And we'll figure it out. We'll talk about it. Only man quit. True, y'all. Support True Results. Cash Up $, True Results #2. Let's get it.
Have new details first at 6 on what happened in the wild moments that led to a shooting at a popular Harbor Town restaurant. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Greg Hurst.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Skurlock. Tonight, police tell us one person has died and so far no arrests have been made. WRG's Shay Arthur has the latest.
Flashing blue lights, crime scene tapes surrounding a Harbortown shopping center, an unfamiliar sight on a busy Saturday night around dinner time.
I'm shaken that my mother, my 85-year-old mother, was running, panting.
Here's what Memphis police tell us took place. Around 7:30, officers showed up after getting word shots were fired inside Tug's Casual Grill. When police arrived, they found two off-duty out-of-state officers inside the restaurant. While clearing the building, they heard a loud crash, discovering a man had fallen through the ceiling of the kitchen. In a report, police referred to him as both a victim and a suspect. He was detained, telling investigators he was on a date, eating with his girlfriend on the front porch of the restaurant when a black car pulled up. Two people got out and chased him into the restaurant. He went into the bathroom and climbed into the ceiling, trying to escape. Detectives located a gun in the bathroom along with 22 spent shell casings next to the weapon. 2 men were seen taking off in a black Nissan Maxima. Minutes later, one of the suspects was dropped off at a nearby fire station, later dying at the hospital. Police called the case an attempted robbery. Back at the restaurant today, we were there as maintenance was performed around the building. A sign posted on the door saying Tugs will be closed until further notice. The restaurant said approximately 50 customers were inside at the time of the incident and were safely escorted out. Shay Arthur, WREG, News Channel 3.
And if you know...
In the United States District Court for the Western District of Tennessee, Western Division, United States of America versus Brian Lackland, a.k.a. Stupid Duke, a.k.a. Spooky Duke, a.k.a. Duke, a.k.a. Homework. Paul Nelson, a.k.a. Big Paul, a.k.a. Paul Walk. Mohammed Samba, a.k.a. Moski, a.k.a. Ski Ski. Braxton Beck, a.k.a. B-Mac. Edgar Smith, a.k.a. Chuck P. Chucky. Gerard Cox, a.k.a. Roddy P., a.k.a. Lil Rod, a.k.a. Rod. Larry Wilson, a.k.a. L. Cedric Jackson, a.k.a. Sid. The defendants. Indictment. Count 1. Young Mob, also known as Young Mob Military. Hereafter, they're going to be called Young Mob in this whole indictment. Was founded in 2007 in the Walker Homes and Westwood neighborhoods of South Memphis, Tennessee. At its inception, the leadership of Young Mob was comprised of 8 original members who represented national gangs to include the Bloods, Crips, Gangster Disciples, and Vice Lords. The original members were identified as the original bosses or the original 8. The hierarchical structure of Young Mob was comprised of 2 ranks, soldier and mob boss. To ascend to the rank of a mob boss, a soldier was required to demonstrate an unwavering commitment and loyalty to the organization and receive the explicit approval of its current leaders. Young Mob operated principally in Memphis, Tennessee, and the surrounding area. Members and associates of Young Mob signified their membership by wearing red or black clothing and jewelry with an 8-ball or the letters YM or the letters YMM. They also signified their membership through a distinctive hand signal. Members and associates of Young Mob were expected to protect the name, reputation, and status of the gang from rival gang members and other persons. Young Mob members and associates required that all individuals show respect and deference to the gang and its membership. To protect the gang and to enhance its reputation, Young Mob members and associates were expected to use any means necessary to force respect from those perceived to have shown disrespect, including through acts of intimidation and violence. Members and associates of Young Mob frequently engaged in criminal activity, including but not limited to murder, assault, drug trafficking, kidnapping, robbery, and narcotics trafficking, as well as attempts and conspiracies to commit such offenses. Young Mob members and associates were required to commit acts of violence to maintain membership and discipline within the gang, to increase the reputation of the gang, as well as against rival gang members. Participation in criminal activity by Young Mob members and associates, particularly in violent acts directed at rival gangs or as directed by gang leadership, increased the respect accorded to the members, to that member and associate, resulting in that member or associate maintaining or increasing his position in the gang, and open the door to a promotion to a leadership position. Young Mob maintained rivalries with other Memphis gangs to include Fam Mob, Fast Cash, and the Knock Shit Back Gang, moniker KSBG. Defenders, aka Stupid Duke, aka Spooky Duke, aka Duke, all those names I called in the beginning, as in this indictment, were members and associates of Young Mob. Young Mob received money and income from narcotics trafficking, kidnappings, and robberies. Such funds were used for gang purposes, including obtaining weapons and providing support for Young Mob gang members who were in prison. Young Mob also received money and income from various musical ventures. By committing acts of violence against rival groups, Young Mob members and associates increased their street reputation and credibility, which in turn increased revenues based in part of viewership of their music videos. This was particularly true when Young Mob members and associates committed acts of violence such as robberies, kidnappings, murders, and attempted murders against rival gangs. Young Mob's principal rival was KSBG, which is associated with Moneybagg Yo's Bread Gang Entertainment, or BGE, a Memphis-based music label. Young Mob members and associates communicated about gang activities with other Young Mob members in Tennessee and elsewhere using mobile telephones, telephone text messages, social media such as Facebook, and P2P applications and other modes of communication. Peer-to-peer, that means. The enterprise. Young Mob, including its leaders, members, and associates, constituted an enterprise as defined in 18 U.S.C. 19614. That is, a group of individuals associated, in fact, that engaged in and activities of which affected interstate and foreign commerce. The enterprise. The enterprise constitutes an ongoing organization whose members function as a whole unit for the common purpose of achieving the objectives of the enterprise. The purposes of the Young Mob enterprise included, among others, preserving and protecting the power, territory, reputation, and profits of the enterprise through the use of intimidation, threats of violence, and violence, including robberies, assaults, and murder. Promoting and enhancing the enterprise and its leaders, members, and associates' activities, including but not limited to murder, kidnapping, drug trafficking, robbery, and other criminal activities. Keeping victims, potential victims, and community members in fear of the enterprise through violence and threats of violence. Providing financial support and information to gang leaders, members, and associates, including members and associates who were incarcerated. Providing assistance, including monetary assistance to gang leaders, members, and associates who committed crimes on behalf of the enterprise, and hindering, obstructing, and preventing law enforcement officers from identifying participants in the enterprise's criminal activity, from apprehending the perpetrators of those crimes, and from successfully prosecuting and punishing the offenders. Means and methods of the enterprise. Among the means and methods by which the members and associates of Young Mob conducted and participated in the conduct of the enterprise were as following. The members and associates of Young Mob used intimidation, threats of violence, and violence, including assaults and murder, to preserve, expand, and protect Young Mob's territory and activities, to promote and enhance its prestige, reputation, and position in the community, and to discipline gang members who had been disloyal or had violated gang rules. The members and associates of Young Mob met regularly met to discuss, among other things, the structure and organization of the gang, past criminal acts committed against rival gang members and others, identifying targets for the purpose of assaulting and murdering rival gang members and others, efforts to increase gang income through means such as drug trafficking and robberies. Young mob leaders, members, and associates who have been arrested or incarcerated. Discipline young mob leaders, members, and associates who have violated gang rules. Police interactions with young mob leaders, members, and associates. The identities of individuals suspected of cooperating with law enforcement, and proposed actions to be taken against them, and plans and agreements regarding the commission of future crimes, as well as ways to conceal these crimes. The members and associates of Young Mob also communicate with other Young Mob members in Memphis and elsewhere, and represented their gang allegiance through social media such as Facebook, including by posting photographs of themselves with other gang members, showing gang hand signs, wearing colors of clothing associated with Young Mob, and posing with weapon or gang-related graffiti, and by sending or posting messages and videos referencing their affiliation with Young Mob. The members and associates of Young Mob finance the enterprise through, like I said, drug trafficking, commission of robbers, kidnappers, and music ventures. The members and associates of Young Mob distributed and agreed to distribute controlled substances on behalf of the gang. The funds raised by the gang were used for gang purposes, including buying weapons and providing support for Young Mob gang members and associates, including those incarcerated. The members and associates of Young Mob hindered and obstructed the efforts of law enforcement to identify, apprehend, and successfully prosecute and punish gang members, including by intimidating or threatening potential witnesses to their criminal activity. The members and associates of Young Mob would investigate rival gang members or other persons targeted for violence, would obtain information about such targets, including locations frequented by them, and will use such information in their plans to attack such targets. The members and associates of Young Mob would and did agree that acts involving murder, including conspiracy and attempts to commit murder and other acts of violence, would be committed by members and associates of Young Mob against rival gang members and persons deemed to be a threat to Young Mob, for the purpose of imposing discipline within the gang and on other occasions as deemed necessary. The racketeering conspiracy. Beginning on a date unknown, but by at least in or about December 2021. That's a month after Dolph. Beginning on a date unknown, but by at least in or about December 2021, and continuing through at least in or about March 2025 of this year, in the Western District of Tennessee and elsewhere, the defendants, y'all know their names, Stupid Dude and the rest of them boys. Stupid Dude, Big Paul, Moski, B-Mac, Chuck P, Roddy P, Lil Rod, Larry Wilson, L, Said, and others known and unknown to the grand jury, each being a person employed. We ain't gonna read all that. We're gonna get to the, all right, so what's this is? The racketeering conspiracy. Y'all can read all that. I ain't gonna read all that. Codes and all that, drug trafficking, overt acts. Let me see. All right. Overt acts. Beginning in or about November 2023 and continuing to June 13, 2024, Stupid Duke, Nelson, Samba, Smith, Cox, and Wilson, and other members and associates of Young Mob conspired and agreed to distribute marijuana, meth, and fentanyl to raise funds for Young Mob to purchase drugs and weapons for the gang, and to send the proceeds of the drug sales to Young Mob members and associates in Tennessee and elsewhere to support the gang. Between April 29, 2024 and May 2nd, 2024, Stupid Dude knowingly and intentionally attempted to possess with intent to distribute 400 grams or more of a mixture and substance containing fent, a Schedule II controlled substance. And then on or about May 28, 2022, Samba, exchanged messages with another young mob member about the location of members of the rival gang KSBG. I do think there's Big 30 in them. Gang near the Southland Mall in Memphis, Tennessee. Read it again. On or about May 28, 2022, Samba exchanged messages with another young mob associate about the location of members of the rival KSBG gang near the Southland Mall in Memphis, Tennessee. So this must be about that little shooting, that little infamous video with Stupid Duke supposed to have told what happened or something. Let's continue. On or about May 28, 2022, Samba and other young mob members and associates shot and killed Jasper Strickland. Jasper Strickland, also known as Cheese Dollar. Cheese Dollar. Where did I hear that name from? I think I heard that name from Killgate. Cheese Dollar shot. All right, let's go back. On or about May 28, 2022, Samba and other young mob members and associates shot and killed Jasper Strickland, also known as Cheese Dollar, shot and injured KC and shot at JB, while Jasper Strickland, KC, and GB, members of the rival KSBG gang, were seated in a car at a McDonald's restaurant in Memphis, Tennessee, near the Southland Mall. On or about May 28, 2022, young mob members and associates burned a stolen silver 2011 Infiniti M37 automobile in Memphis, Tennessee that had been used in the murder of Cheese Dollar. On or about May 13, 2023, Nelson and Stupid Duke received and exchanged information about the location of TT, a musician associated with Bread Gang Entertainment, Moneybag Yo's Bread Gang Entertainment, a rival music label. They got their initials, I guess, in attempts to disguise their identity. But let's read this again, because it ain't hard to figure out. On or about May 13, Nelson and Stupid Duke received and exchanged information about the location of TT, a musician associated with Bread Gang Entertainment, a rival music label, for the purpose of robbing and assaulting TT. On or about May 13, 2023, Nelson, Stupid Duke, and Cox and other members and associates of Young Mob, to include Roderick Winston, also known as Rollo, conspired to rob TT. On or about May 13, 2023, Nelson, Cox, and Winston traveled to Tubbs Casual Grill. Also, we know who that is. What's that guy's name? That guy, that rapper dude. I think I did a little clip on him. We know who that is. Yep. He said he got 2 by. That's the one that fell out the ceiling when they pulled up on him down in Harbor Town. Yeah, I know his name though. He said he got 2 bodies, and this is appears to be Stupid Duke's in the mob's work. On or about May 13, 2000. Oh, y'all can Google that, by the way, Casual Grill, and then you'll see who I'm talking about. I forgot his name. On or about May 13, 2023, Nelson, Cox, and Winston travels to Tubbs Casual Grill in Memphis, Tennessee, for the purpose of robbing and assaulting TT. Nelson and Winston, both armed with handguns, both armed with and brandishing firearms, attempted to rob TT, who was seated outside the restaurant. Winston, armed with and brandishing a rifle, chased TT into Tubbs' restaurant. On or about May 13, 2023, Nelson, armed with and brandishing a firearm, robbed AB at Tubbs' restaurant. On or about May 13, 2023, TT hid inside the bathroom at Tubbs' restaurant as Winston searched for him. When Winston entered the bathroom armed with the rifle, TT shot Winston. On or about May 13, 2023, Nelson, Cox, and Winston then fled the scene in a stolen black 2020 Nissan Maxima and drove to a nearby Memphis fire station, where Nelson and Cox left Winston, who later died from his wounds. All of that is in the news, y'all. On or about May 13, 2023, Young mob members and associates burned the stolen black 2020 Nissan Maxima in Memphis, Tennessee, that had been used in a robbery and attempted robbery at Tugs Casual Grill. Once again, just type in Tugs Casual Grill and all that. You'll see all the news on that. On or about March 17th, 2024, Stupid Dude and another young mob member or associate exchanged information about the location of an unknown black male, UM-1, and suspected member of a rival gang. On or about March 17, 2024, Stupid Dude, Beck, and other members and associates of Young Mob conspired to murder UM-1 because he was a suspected rival gang member. On or about March 17, 2024, Stupid Dude sent a message to Beck identifying the location of UM-1 on Glankler Street, Memphis, Tennessee. On or about March 17, 2024, Beck sent a message to Stupid Dude asking if UM-1 was armed with a firearm. On that same day, March 17, 2024, Beck and other members and associates of Young Mob traveled to Glankler Street to murder UM-1 in Memphis, Tennessee, but were thwarted in their attempt in part due to a police presence at this location. On that same day, March 17, 2024, after the attempted murder of UM-1 was thwarted, the same Young Mob member and associate who told Stupid Dude of UM-1's presence on Glankler Street told Stupid Dude that he would have killed UM-1 if he had his gun. On or about March the 8th, 2024, Beck knowingly and unlawfully possessed a firearm. On or about March 27, 2024, Beck knowingly and unlawfully possessed a firearm. Turn some air on right here. It's hot. All right. On or about April 29th through May 2nd, 2024, Stupid Duke attempted to possess with intent to distribute 400 grams or more of the FENT. On or about June 11, Jackson informed Stupid Duke that ML was in possession of a large amount of money and would be an easy target to rob, and that ML was in a tattoo shop in Memphis, Tennessee. On or about June 11, 2024, Stupid Duke, Jackson, Beck, and Wilson conspired to rob ML. That same day, June 11, 2024, Stupid Duke, Beck, and Wilson traveled to the tattoo shop with the intention to rob ML, but their plans were thwarted in their attempt because law enforcement was there too. Damn, it's like every time they try to go rob and kill somebody, the police there. Wonder why. On about June the 12th, 2024, Stupid Dude communicated with another Young Mob member and associate that their plan to rob ML was hindered in part because of the police presence at or near the tattoo shop. June the 12th, 2024, Stupid Dude communicated with another Young Mob member and associate that their plan to rob ML was hindered in part because the Young Mob associate obtained the wrong GPS tracking device. These boys playing for real. Tracking device, all kinds. On or about June 12, 2024, Jackson informed Stupid Dude that ML had returned to the tattoo shop and was still in possession of a large amount of cash. June the 12th, same day, Smith joined the conspiracy to rob ML when he agreed with Stupid Dude to drive the car during the robbery of ML. Same day, Stupid Dude directed Beck, Wilson, and Smith to travel to the tattoo shop and rob ML. The same day, June 12th, Stupid Dude, Beck, Wilson, and Smith robbed and aided and abetted each other in the robbery of ML, LK, and SB while armed with firearms. The next day, June the 13th, Stupid Dude knowingly and intentionally possessed with intent to distribute a mixture of FENTANYL. June 13th, Stupid Dude knowingly and unlawfully possessed approximately 6 firearms. June 13th, Nelson possessed the firearm, Beck, firearm, Samba, firearm, and on or about June 13th, Samba knowingly and intentionally possessed the same with marijuana, and Notice of special sentencing factors. On or about May 28, 2022, in the Western District of Tennessee, Mohammed Samba, as part of his agreement to conduct and participate in the conduct of the affairs of the Young Mob Enterprise through a pattern of racketeering activity, along with others and unknown to the grand jury, did intentionally and with premeditation kill Cheese Dollar in violation of the code. All right, on about April 29, 2024, and continue to on about May 2nd, 2024, in Tennessee and elsewhere as part of his agreement to conduct and participate in the conduct of the affairs of the Young Mob Enterprise through a pattern of racketeering activity. Stupid dude. Did knowingly and intentionally attempt to possess 400 grams of what I already told y'all. Hold on, excuse me. Man, my heart stopped and brain stopped on that one. Excuse me, y'all. I'd rather get to it. All right, 400 grams of, that, beginning on a date unknown to the grand jury, but from at least on or about November 1st, 2023, and continuing through at least June the 3rd, 2024 in Tennessee and elsewhere. Stupid dude, Nelson, Smith, and Cox, and others unknown to the grand jury. The same 400 grams. Let me see. Like stupid dude, Nelson and Smith, this time they got 500 grams of the same thing. All right, count two. I ain't finna read all that. This is November 1st, 2023 through June 13, 2024. This is just three people. Here's Stupid Dude, Big Paul, four, Chucky P, and Lil Rod. This is for drugs. And count three, conspiracy to possess. It's the MEMPHIS, so y'all can read all that. I think we got to the meat of it. So I'm gonna slow this down. Count five, interference with commerce by robbery. On or about May 13, 2023. Stupid Dude, Big Paul, and Roddy P. Right, so these are just breaking down all the facts. These are the counts of everything we read. So I'm just gonna scroll up here for the people that want to slow it down and read. That'll be about it. Count A, causing death through the use of a firearm, felony murder. Stupid Dude, Paul Nelson, Gerard Cox. The only three charges there. Count 9, just Braxton Beck and there, B-Mac by himself and there, unlawful possession of a firearm by a felon. Count 10, unlawful possession of a machine gun, that is B-Mac, again, March 8, 2024. Count 11, unlawful possession of a firearm by a felon, B-Mac again, by itself. Count 12, attempted possession with intent to distribute, that word right there, that's Stupid Dude. Count 13, possession with intent to distribute, that word right there, Stupid Dude again. Count 14, possession of a firearm and furtherance of drug trafficking crime, Stupid Dude, June 13th. He got caught with an AR-15 rifle, American Tactical Omni Hybrid AR-15 rifle to be specific, a Palmetto State Armory PA-15 rifle, Glock 19, Glock 43, Taurus, 9mm, Anderson Manufacturing, AM-15 rifle. They were ready. Unlawful possession of firearm by a felony, Stupid Dude. Count 16, unlawful possession of a firearm by a felon, Big Paul. Count 17, possession with intent to distribute marijuana, that's Moski, Samba. Count 18, possession of firearms and furtherance of drug trafficking crime, that's Samba again. Count 19, unlawful possession of a firearm by a felon, that's B-Mac, Braxton Beck. Forfeiture allegation, I guess this is, I don't know, this is, I guess they're going after the money or some shit, anything they own. And, that is about the sum of it, y'all. So that's the true bill for what's going on with Stupid Duke. And yep, these are the penalties. Y'all can slow that down if you want to. And that's about the end of that, y'all. Appreciate y'all for letting me go over Stupid Duke's what he's facing, because his name came up in the trial of Hernandez Govan. And we'll get to that later. Like, share, subscribe, I will support. Cash App $, TRURESULTS #2. If you wish to donate to the channel, I appreciate what you do. Stay safe, stay true, and stay blessed, and salute. True.
Connecticut, we got one. Express your talent. Ty Berry, Say LeBron. Let's go. If it ain't about the bag, don't respond. If it ain't about the bag, don't respond. If it ain't about the bag, don't respond. EYT, Ty Berry, Say LeBron. If it ain't about the bag, don't respond. If it ain't about the bag, don't respond. If it ain't about the bag, don't respond. EYT, Ty Berry, Say LeBron. Niggas talking shit cause I'm not around, like I'm gone. This shit was real, like you said I would've been on your mama's lawn. Met you at the corner store, lay it by your car. It ain't about no investment, so no, I don't respond. Pay my own bills, you live for free with your baby moms. I drive my own cars, I went from jail bars to the car to the bar. I'm a star, I ain't put rapping from the star, cause that's what they are. If it ain't about the bag, don't respond. If it ain't about the bag, don't respond. If it ain't about the bag, don't respond. EYT, Ty Berry, Say LeBron. If it ain't about the bag, don't respond. If it ain't about the bag, don't respond. If it ain't about the bag, don't respond. EYT, Ty Berry, Say LeBron. Like the king of Memphis, I'm about to run it up like Dolph. About to take off on that no rip, take off. Money train on the way, no stops, rip the brakes off. Unlike Bernie, the feds came, I made off. If it ain't about the bag, don't respond. If it ain't about the bag, don't respond. If it ain't about the bag, don't respond. EYT, Ty Berry, Say LeBron. Around Mo 3, I got that dog food, fuck shoes. I'm stepping on next and hard to see the bag don't talk, the bag make moves. That's why you don't see me next.